Hi everyone, my name is Damjan. I'm the lead developer at APILLON, and I'm going to be presenting a new solution today that we've built at APILLON called embedded wallets, which we believe will drive adoption much further in the Polkadot ecosystem. Okay, so first of all, a little bit about APILLON for those of you who may not know. It's a Web3 development platform, and we're trying to lower the entry barriers onto Web3 of Web2 developers. So we're a development platform which builds services on top of existing parachains on Polkadot, and we deliver them through simple tooling such as API, SDK, CLI, and similar. And we want to drive adoption further by simplifying the whole complexity of the blockchain technology, and building, as we all know, as developers, is pretty hard and can be pretty complex. So the solution we have built, embedded wallets, is, we believe, a very big step towards achieving mass adoption and enabling developers to make it easier for users who are trying to get onboarded on their dApps. Let's see how. First of all, a little bit about wallets and seed phrases. We all have a wallet. I'm already sure. Either a hardware wallet or a hot wallet or a cold wallet. It can be a mobile wallet or a browser extension. So as we know, in order to interact with a dApp, we need to use some kind of wallet, right? And all of us acknowledge all the benefits of this. It gives us increased privacy. It gives us anonymity. It's easy to set up for us, and we don't need to interact with third parties to make, for example, financial transactions, right? We don't need a bank to do this. We can do this all through our wallet with the help of blockchain technology, of course. But as we know, this can be a big friction for users who are not yet onboarded onto Web3, or perhaps they're not so technical. This whole process of setting up a wallet, trying to secure your seed phrase and similar, it can be a big friction for new users. And so there has to be a way to reduce this friction or remove it altogether. So this is where I'd like to announce a partnership that we have with the Oasis protocol in order to deliver this solution. So it's an open source wallet account abstraction SDK, which means that the developer is going to be able to use our SDK in order to create wallets in the name of his users of the dApp. So the users which want to just use a dApp on the internet no longer need to have their own wallet set up prior to that. It's a very seamless onboarding process, and the developer would only need to take care of attracting users to use his dApp, while on the other hand, the users would not need to go through the whole process of setting up a wallet in order to just use a dApp on the internet. So embedded wallets, right, as we already mentioned. Why is it called that? Well, it's not a wallet that the user needs to bring on their own. There's no external browser extension. There is no dependency. There is no plugin or mobile app, nothing like that. It's fully integrated into the app. So that's why we call it an embedded wallet. This offers seamless wallet creations on the developer side and a very user-friendly onboarding process on the user side. There are completely no private keys to manage, and currently this supports all the EVM and substrate chains. So with this, we can target all the parachains on Polkadot for any kind of dApp that gets built on any parachain. And this also supports fully gasless transactions, which means that the developer can decide to sponsor all the transactions that the user makes on the dApp. And also the wallet creation of itself is a transaction which also gets sponsored and does not need to be paid by the user. So by doing this, we can fully abstract away the concept of a wallet to the users. Let's talk about the security of embedded wallets. We offer passkey authentication in order to interact with the wallet. So passkeys, what are they? They're a way to secure a credential on your device only by using your biometric data. So that means either you use your fingerprint on your laptop, or you scan your face with your mobile phone, or something similar. In this way, the credential that you store on your device can never get accessed by anybody other than you, because it's your own biometric data. This gives us multiple benefits other than the inherent security of the biometric data. So with this method, what happens now, let's say when you get a new device, let's say you get a new laptop or you get a new mobile phone and you want to set up your wallet, the same wallet that you had on the previous device. So what happens is you need to go and look for where you've stored your passkey, your private key or your seed phrase, and you need to import it onto the new device. With this method, that no longer needs to be the case. All you need to do is just use the same passkey that you've created before. That means if I get a new laptop, I can just use the passkey on my mobile phone to scan a QR code on the new device, and I get the same wallet. And I no longer need to take care of my seed phrase or private key, which is stored somewhere else. And another big benefit of this is that it's safe from phishing attacks. One benefit that it can be very beneficial, especially for new users, and make it much simpler for them and not be afraid of getting their wallet compromised. So how is this the case? Well, the passkey that gets created, it gets directly tied to the website where it was created. So that means that if I'm on apillon.io, our website, and I create a wallet there with my passkey, then it gets directly tied to the website where it was created. And now, if there's somebody who wants to clone that website and I get tricked into using the clone of the website and I get somehow phished and the attacker wants to compromise my wallet, that's not going to be possible because the passkey would not work on that phishing website. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison between our solution and some other reputable providers of similar solutions, which are ThirdWeb, Coinbase, and Dynamic.xyz. So they have different names like in-app wallet, social wallet, or smart wallet. We call it embedded wallet. So our solution, the main difference and the main point is that it's completely decentralized because it gets stored on a confidential smart contract. So the way that the private key gets stored in an encrypted way can never be accessed by anybody, and it can never be compromised because of the inherent security provided by the trusted execution environment, which is happening under the hood, which we'll look at in a second. So our solution does not rely on any third-party providers. It's fully decentralized on that way because it uses smart contracts under the hood. The wallet scope is global, which means that if you create a wallet on a dApp, then you can use the same passkey to create a wallet on a different dApp, and you're going to get the same wallet address. So that means that you no longer have to manage multiple different wallets for multiple different dApps, which is not the case for the other solutions. That even greatly reduces friction even further because you're not going to have to manage the tokens and NFTs you have on different dApps or on different wallets. And we're going to offer multiple authentication solutions. So either you use the passkey, or if you can decide, you can use your email also to retrieve the wallet, or you can use a password if that's what you like. And the user is always going to be able to expose the private key and claim it for themselves, of course. And our solution is going to be fully open sourced, so it's going to be transparent in that way. And we also allow contributions if anybody wants to do that. So let's have a look how this works under the hood. So when a user joins a dApp and wants to use it, what happens is the developer has already implemented our SDK on their dApp. And now this SDK interacts with the Oasis chain, the Sapphire chain, which then has a kind of a smart contract called an account manager. And this account manager creates a new smart contract for each wallet that gets created. And each smart contract has its own encryption key. And that way it's stored in a completely trustless and secure manner because it's using a trusted execution environment under the hood. So the private key is always stored in an encrypted manner, and it cannot be accessed by anybody inside the smart contract. And the encryption key always belongs to the smart contract, and it's only getting retrieved and used to decrypt the private key only within the trusted execution environment, so it can never get accessed or compromised by anybody. And what happens now when I want to send a transaction using the embedded wallet, what happens is there's the whole transaction data in the raw format, which is being sent to the smart contract belonging to my wallet. And now, under the hood, what happens is the private key just signs the transaction data and sends the signed transaction data back to the client. So in that way, the private key never needs to leave the smart contract and never needs to get sent to the client. Otherwise, the transaction only gets sent in a signed manner back to the client and then gets propagated to the blockchain. So if you imagine how a hardware wallet works, it's a similar concept. The private key never leaves the hardware wallet. It just is used to sign the data and send the signed data back. In this way, it works the same, but there's no hardware device of any kind. There's only a smart contract. So I'm ready to show you a demo. We have a demo ready, so you can see how this looks like under the hood. So let's imagine this is a dApp where users would want to perform some interactions on chain. It's a dApp that connects to some chain, and we need to interact with that chain on the dApp as usual. So a user, what they need to do, they don't need to bring their wallet. They would just use their email to sign in. So let's sign in. And now I have this email, demo.apillon.io. And after this, a code gets sent to my email. So let's check that. 573221. OK? And now is the point where a passkey needs to get created for me in order to secure the private key that's about to get created. And now, based on my device, I have multiple options here. I can either use the iCloud keychain. Since I'm on a Mac, it's like a password manager for iCloud devices. I can either use my phone to scan this QR code and store the passkey on my phone. Or since I'm on Brave, I can also store the passkey inside of my Brave profile, since Brave supports storage of passkeys. So let's do that. I think it's the simplest option for now for the demo reason. And now I'm getting asked to just present my fingerprint on my laptop so the passkey can get created, and I confirm. So I tap my fingerprint. And now is the part where a wallet gets created under the hood. So a transaction gets sent to this account manager smart contract on the Oasis chain. And as you can see, a new fresh wallet just got created for me. And this is my wallet address right now. I can go ahead and copy it. And so this way, I just got a new wallet address that I can use to sign transactions on this dApp. So let's see what it looks like now to sign a message, for example. Let's say this is a message that the dApp prompts me to sign. After I approve it, I just need to present my fingerprint. And then the message gets sent to the chain where it gets signed using my private key, which is stored securely. And the signed data gets sent back to the client. Now let's see what happens when I want to send some funds to somebody. So let's actually do a real transaction here. I have this wallet copied here from before. And now, first of all, what I'm just going to quickly do is use the Moonbase faucet. See, I'm on Moonbeam Network. And this is the wallet that got created for me over here. So if I open my wallet, this is the one I can verify. And now let's just quickly send some funds to the wallet. So I'm doing this only for the demo. But otherwise, of course, the developer would be able to sponsor the transactions for the user, so the user doesn't need to interact with any chain at all. And now, so the faucet now got sent some funds to me. I think I received about 1 test token on the Moonbeam test network. And I have this wallet from before, so let's try to send it 0.1 test tokens. And I do a cross-chain transfer. So this is on the Moonbase network. The chain ID is correct. And the raw transaction data gets shown here to the user. And now if I approve this, all I need to do is just sign the transaction. But I'm not doing that with my wallet. I'm just using my passkey, where then the transaction is going to get sent to the smart contract. And as we can see, already I get back the transaction was submitted. And if I open the Explorer, we can see here that on the Moonbase network, the transaction was just sent 0.1 test tokens. And in this way, I can see that the transaction was successfully submitted, and it's about to get approved once it gets acknowledged. OK, so that was it for the demo. Hope that was fun. And another point, an important point to make here for this demo, right? So we gave the user a wallet. The user got to sign a message using just their fingerprint. The user got to send a transaction using just their fingerprint. But what's even better here is that the user doesn't even need to know about this. So that's why it's an embedded wallet. It's part of the dApp. The user does not need to know there was a blockchain under the hood. The user does not need to know there was a wallet created. They don't even need to be shown that there was a transaction which was submitted. If the developer decides to build their dApp in that way, they don't even need to show any of this data to the user. All the user needs to know is, I'm secure by using my fingerprint, and all I need to do is just approve, and that keeps me secure. And the user does not need to bring their own wallet and interact with blockchain in any way. All they know is that they've successfully and securely used an application on the internet. So that's what I had for you today. This is a QR code that you can scan to get access to our platform. We're releasing this solution by the end of this month, so it should be ready so you can start already building it and integrating into your dApp if you're interested. Also, you can use the contact form on apillon.io/contact if you want to get early access or if you want us to help you integrate this into your dApp. It's going to be available soon, and we'll hope that this is going to be a huge step forward towards mass adoption. Thank you for your attention.
Now, Luca, we have questions. All right, perfect.
Great presentation, thanks.
Thank you.
I do have a question regarding the private key storage, because you mentioned that the user doesn't have to take care of these.
Yes.
So how is it designed in your SDK? Where are these private keys stored, and who or what entity is responsible for storing these?
That's the good part. It's that no entity is responsible for this. So the way it works that under the hood, we're using the Oasis Sapphire chain, which is a confidential blockchain, and they offer private storage, which means that you can store any data on there and it can never get accessed. And it's fully encrypted because they use trusted execution environments. So the nodes that run on the Oasis Sapphire chain have a hardware chip which has a secure element where you can use to sign and encrypt anything without the encryption key ever being exposed. So in that way, the private key gets stored on a smart contract securely and in an encrypted way. And that way, nobody manages anything here. It's not somebody who can manage or even recover your keys. It's fully decentralized and fully inaccessible.
Got it. So is there any additional private key that allows the user to access the original private keys? Like, like a password, for example?
That can be supported, yes, because we're going to offer multiple authentication methods. So the user is going to be able to choose either they want to just use a passkey or they can use their email for recovery. So that's going to be left up to the user to decide. Or if they don't want to have a recovery method, that's OK. It's up to them. Or if they want to have a recovery, they can set up their email to be the recovery email address for the wallet.
OK, so in case of email recovery, there is going to be some kind of one-time private key generated that is going to be sent out to the user through the email so that he can basically access the original private keys and, for example, change the password, right, to re-access his wallet, right?
That's right, yeah. So you'll be able to dedicate an email in order to be the email that a link gets sent. And then it's like the same process where so on the chain, there is a mapping of your email to the private key so that the smart contract can know which wallet belongs to which email. And because you're going to dedicate that email to be like a recovery email address, the smart contract, which is an account manager, is going to know which wallet belongs to that email.
OK. And the email addresses are also encrypted, I guess.
Sorry?
The email addresses, the list are also encrypted, right?
Yes. It's stored in an encrypted and hashed way.
OK, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Just a question from me. You know that we are discussing already some solutions regarding the APILLON work and inter-Miami integrations. So my question is when this will be ready, because if there will be some business development integrations going on under the inter-Miami partnership, I will need this, for example, and the community will need this to onboard people to the digital fund experience coming from the inter-Miami partnership.
Right now it's in kind of a closed beta phase, so we're still finalizing some internal tests. But right now this is a fully functional version, which I just showed. So this already works. We already have the core part of it implemented. What we're just doing now is just completing some tests, and we're building the SDK to allow developers to integrate these solutions into their app. So we're targeting that by the end of this month, everything is going to be ready and set.
Hi. So you mentioned facial recognition in the security biometrics methods, but you didn't show it in the demo. Is it like an alternative to the fingerprint, or what?
Yes, pretty much. If I can choose, so the QR code, which I showed that you can scan it, I can use my phone to scan it, and I think most modern phones support passkey storage. So it would get stored if you know a password manager in your phone. That's where the passkey gets stored. It's like a credential. It's a string of. It's like a public key. So what you would do then, instead of a fingerprint, you would just scan a QR code again, and then you would scan your face with your phone, which verifies the passkey. And the passkey on your phone is very similar to like a password manager. You need to use Face ID in order to get access to that password. And this is the same case, but it's instead of passkey.
OK, yeah, thanks.
Damien, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You're creating in APILLON an amazing tool for developers and for the users too. Why do you think that it's important, considering that kind of experience, for enable this kind of technology?
Well, here's the thing. We have these amazing dApps. We have so many people, and so many people which you can meet here, which are building so many good and usable apps which can drive innovation further. But what happens when we have a regular person who is not so crypto savvy or tech savvy who wants to use this app? How do we bring them to use it? We need to first drag them through this whole process of explaining to them what is a wallet, how to create one, how to set up their own seed phrase and what it is. And this no longer needs to be the case with our solution. And we're trying to bring mass adoption. And the only way we can do that is by reducing the entry barrier of users such that it becomes as seamless as possible to use any app on the internet.
Right, right. And I would like to ask the people who is here, who is developer, right? And usually, when you think in this kind of tools, with the explanation of Damien, do you think that it really could be helpful for you? Do you think that it will be helpful for you? Yeah, that's a, yeah. Microphone, please.
So I just wanted to say that we're cooperating with quite a lot of DeFi protocols and dApps. And in many cases, the change from basically the need to move to a browser extension as a wallet rather than doing stuff inside of the website itself is a pretty big conversion blocker. So it is both probably easier for developers, but also for business people to improve their dApps and DeFis, basically using wallets that are embedded in their websites. And of course, security is a different thing. But if this is properly solved, as we can see in this case, then this may basically also improve the conversion rates and the revenues and fees coming from DeFi protocols and dApps, but also make developers work easier.
Yeah, of course. Damien, can you tell me a little more about APILLON? The product that you showed us a moment ago, you made a demo, but the people that is here can go try the tool, or it's just for a showcase?
Currently, it's just a showcase, but as I said, by the end of this month, we're supposed to have it ready. But also, like I mentioned, if you use the apillon.io/contact link, you can get in touch with us, and we can set up an early version for you, like an early demo, early access, and even help you set it up for your own dApp.
Nice, nice. Well, let me tell you that before came here, I was in the stand with Damien.
Yep.
And he made me the explanation. I want to tell you that it was something incredible. Because, I don't know, how long time do you have in Web3?
I think about 4 years now.
4 years, all right. I have almost the same time. But I still remember that moment when the first contact with the technology was very hard, man, because you was going to download nodes, made complicated setup, and with the tools that you are making, it's something really powerful because I don't know. I'm sorry that I repeat that, but for developers it's more easy, and for users it's more easier too. Do you have maybe estimation or what will be the adoption that it will go generate for Polkadot?
We cannot know for sure, but we think it's definitely a huge step forward. And there's good dApps, and so far we've seen good metrics with all the dApps that are being created. There's more and more new projects, more and more new parachains that are coming and want to build. And what we do at Apillon is try to lower the entry barriers of users to use these dApps. So that's the whole gap that we're trying to cover and fill.
All right. Well, Damien, some reflection words for the public before close? Take your time, one moment, and please share something.
Okay. If you guys want to know about Apillon more, so we're actively building services on top of existing parachains to lower the entry barriers of users, and this is one kind of those solutions. So we offer decentralized storage, hosting, smart contract creation, cloud computing, and we already have parachains who do this and address this. But what happens when they want to implement it, they need to go through this whole process of setting up they need to, first of all, get coins for each parachain. They need to set up their whole own backend, connect with the libraries of each different SDK, which can be vary in difference. So what we want to do is just do this all in a unified endpoint, in just a single app, in just a single dashboard. Or for developers, we also offer tooling such as APIs and SDKs. So you would all be able to do this just in one place, and our goal is to become the one-stop shop for building dApps on Polkadot and make it simple for everybody to be able to build.
All right. Thank you, Damien.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the explanation. Applauses, please.